Welcome to a new episode of Makeup Meets Skin, where art and science meet beauty. Today we are talking about those three things that we were not taught in school, but that we make sure that we always teach our students. So what are your three things, Megan?
So retailing is a huge one. Rebooking clients, client retention, and then bedside manner.
Bedside manners, that's very important. I don't think a lot of people think about it when it comes to estheticians. So
Right.
why did you feel the need to teach these things?
Because I think that retail is most important because if your client is not going to put in the work at home, then you're not doing anything for them in the treatment room.
Right.
And if you don't know what they're using at home, then you can't help them. So if you're providing the correct products for them, then it's kind of like the circle of life. The circle of the spa.
The circle of the spa. Okay, I like that. Yes, that's very important. Retailing skill. This is also why, a good academy would have a retail area for the students to where they can practice actually retailing to clients. So if you are a client of a beauty school, the students are not trying to be pushy and sell you products, right? They are trying to learn the art of retailing, and it comes with practice. They just have to literally sit in front of somebody and try to sell them the products.
Yes.
So you didn't know retailing in school?
No.
Did you even guys have a retailing?
I don't even think that we had retail.
At all?
No. So we had a spa, but we didn't have a clientele, especially not like we have at our school now. I maybe had a few clients that I brought in, like my mom and my aunt or something. But yeah, it was nothing like this. So, and we had no support.
Right. So I heard you say that before.
Yes. So I definitely make sure, that I support the students and hope that they're successful in this industry.
Right. Also because retailing brings extra income, right?
Yes. And rapport with clients.
Right. Correct. So that is very important too.
And I mean, it's not all about the money in the end. Well, in the end it is, but
to a certain extent it is. You want to give them the best service.
Yes.
Make sure that they see the results that they want to see, because obviously one facial is not going to fix the problem, right? It's consistent application and treatments that are going to yield results. So the products that they bring home are very important for their aftercare. And on top of that, there is the money situation. So an esthetician can definitely make more money by retailing products.
Oh yeah.
So
that was a game changer for me in my business when I first started, was starting to sell retail.
Right.
So
it definitely piles up quickly.
Yes. And then bedside manner. So if you don't have proper bedside manner, you're not going to get anywhere, even if you're just waxing. So I was waxing, actually it was my stepsister one time. I was waxing her legs and she asked me if I knew what my face looked like. And I was like, no. And she said, your face just looks like you're disgusted. And I was like, no, I'm just focused on what I'm doing. So, and that's part of bedside manner, is knowing what your facial expressions are. And I tell you what, I have had to work on that.
Yes, that is a big one in makeup artistry too, especially when we do things that are very precise or detailed, like a sharp liner or the perfect lip. A lot of us tend to really focus in, what we're doing, and we kind of look, and we're thinking, okay, I need to get it really crisp and it has to be symmetric. And our face shows that. Well, we forget that clients see us.
Yeah.
So any face, any expressions of worry, or maybe you're very intense over something, and clients are like, what's going on? Why do you look like that?
Right.
And you're not trying to look disgusting or disgusted, or anything like that. It's you're thinking about what you're doing and you want to give them the best service. So that is very important too. Yes.
Yeah.
I also feel like bedside manners, has to do with how you tell them to get undressed.
Yes.
Especially, with aesthetics, they have to take their clothes off.
And there's a very fine line
that
you don't want to step over, especially if you're servicing male clients. So
right.
Yes.
That is very important, the way you ask them to get undressed.
Yes. And you have to be very specific, I actually just created a social media post that I'll post here in a couple weeks about that. You have to be very specific on how you tell them to dress and to undress, because you could come in and they could have the robe around their head or around their shoulders like a cape, and then they're laying on top of the blankets. And
Right.
that's nothing like you told them to do. So you just have to be very specific and, treat them with respect, but almost talk to them like a kindergartner.
Right. And well, clients don't know, they have no idea what's going to happen. They don't know what to expect. So the more precise you are with your instructions, the better it's going to be.
What are your 3 things?
Yeah, so my main 3 things that I always make sure I teach, well, one is very technical, and that is color theory. Color theory, fundamental for makeup artists. Every makeup artist should know color theory like the back of their hands. Color theory is extremely important for base matching foundation. A good makeup artist works on everybody, from Sweden to Zimbabwe. We need to be able to match and work on any skin tone. And the base of that is color theory, so fundamental. Also, color theory comes into place when you're choosing an eyeshadow or a lipstick for your client, or a blush. Okay? It all has to do with colors and how harmonious they are within each other. And also, color theory works for corrections. So if I have a client that has redness, what do I need to use to get rid of the redness visually?
Orange. I'm
Megan?
just kidding.
Okay. Megan?
Green.
Yes, green. You guys don't.
I've listened into a few of your lectures before.
Color theory is fascinating. And also, once you know it well, it allows you to reuse your products. You may have a foundation that you use in summertime. If you know what to do to correct it, you can use it in wintertime. You don't need to buy new foundation. So that's the fundamental of makeup artistry, color theory. Another one that's extremely important, and not a lot of people talk about it. Not sure why. I think it's more of a technical thing, but it is the mechanics of the job. So where do you stand? How do you stand? How do you move your hands? What kind of movements do you do? We are trying to put something on somebody's face and we're trying to make it symmetrical. So doing the same movements applied to different parts of the face allows for that.
So, sorry to interrupt, but I remember when I did a makeup lesson with you, and I would put on eyeshadow on this side, and then I did something funky with my hand on this side, and you were like, what are you doing? And
right.
So, yes, that's very important, and it really did make a difference.
Yes, it does make a difference, right? Because you're working on half and then the other half. We're not perfectly symmetrical by nature. With makeup, we want to make everything symmetrical, or as close as possible to symmetrical. So mirroring the movements that you do allows for that. That's how you get symmetrical work. So that's why, my students, I walk by and I'm like, posture, stand up, posture, straighten your back. Or I tell them, sit, move there, stay there, extend your arm. If you do this movement on one eye, you're going to do that movement on the other eye. You don't want to do, for example, eyeliner and always drag towards you, because the eye that's closer to you is going to have a different direction. So the mechanics of the work are extremely important. Just learning how to do makeup in an elevated manner. And to me, elevated means exactly that. Like, you're confident, you know what you're doing, and you move your body and you work in a way that allows for precision and symmetry. So that's another big one. And my third one would be ingredients, makeup ingredients. We talk a lot about skincare ingredients. A lot of clients know, about hyaluronic acid, glycolic acid, and then they know about the different SPFs that we have available. Like, there's a lot of information about skincare ingredients, not so much about makeup. Makeup is a thing that we put over our face, so people don't really care to look into the ingredients list. But the way makeup sits on somebody's face has to do with ingredients. So makeup ingredients are very, very important. Also, because often, I don't know if it haven't happened to you, but maybe you use a concealer and a foundation and the two don't work together. The products start separating, or something happens on the face and you're like, oh, this product sucks, right? And you toss it away. Well, the product does not suck, especially nowadays. We have so many ingredients that the products are very, very rarely bad products. You really have to go look for a bad makeup product. The problem is that these products are not formulated to go together.
Oh, okay.
So they either separate, or they don't stick on top of each other, or you put something over something and it starts lifting what's underneath.
Okay.
Not a bad product, it's formulation. Nowadays, we have a lot of waterproof makeup products, and the ingredients that create a waterproof product are all sorts of alcohols that can be found, and also PVPs and copolymers. Those are film forming agents. They literally form a film over the skin. Think about saran wrap for your face, basically. That's the best way that I can describe that. If you're using something extremely wet underneath and then you put something like that over it, it might lift what's underneath, right? Because it's going to stick to it and lift it. So you have to make sure that your makeup bag contains products that are that can be used together, that interact together very nicely. Also, in the past 10 years or so, we started seeing a lot of active ingredients added to makeup products. I'm thinking about the foundation, House Lab foundation, House Lab by Lady Gaga. It's very rich in skincare ingredients. Several students at the school we teach at complain that they don't like that foundation, right? And they're like, oh, it doesn't work on my skin. It moves everywhere and doesn't go anywhere. Well, that foundation is loved by a lot of makeup artists. So I was like, okay, I do like it too, and I'm like, what's the problem? What's going on? Well, it turns out that the students that don't like that foundation have a 5 to 7 step skincare routine.
Oh.
So they have all these actives underneath, on their skin, and then they put a foundation that carries itself active ingredients.
So that could be another episode we could talk about skin prep.
Yes.
For makeup.
Yes, that's going to be a very long episode. There's a lot to say about that and how ingredients interact. But, people don't think about that because you don't think about makeup as something that can have actives in it. You just think about a beautifying tool. So you just think, oh, the coverage I want, the finish I want, that's the foundation I'm going to buy. It's a little more complicated than that. Just to mention an ingredient that every time I see it in any makeup product, I buy that product because I know it's going to work very well, is squalane.
Yeah.
Squalane is being added in a lot of makeup products, and it works extremely well with pretty much any makeup ingredient, makeup formulation. It works very well under liquids, under creams, under powders. It's a really, really good ingredient. But people don't read the labels of makeup. It's a much more visual thing, right? So you buy a moisturizer and you heard somewhere that hyaluronic acid is good for whatever, so you're going to buy that moisturizer because you're looking for that result. When it comes to the makeup, you heard somebody saying that it has good coverage and it lasts a long time, and that's it.
Yeah.
But how does that happen? It depends on the formulation. Makeup products also, as I said before, it's pigment. It's a powder pigment suspended in a base.
Okay.
So you always have a powder component into any makeup product, which, if you have too much powder, it's dry. If it's not balanced, it's going to separate. And the ingredients in which the powder is suspended in change the final result of the makeup application. So, yeah, exactly.
Mind blown.
Exactly. So this is why I love teaching about ingredients. Often, I put up on the screen the ingredient list of a makeup. What's in that foundation? Is it a waterproof formula? And if so, what is it making it waterproof? So these would be my 3 things. I'm very big on those. Those are, in my opinion, way more important than learning how to blend an eyeshadow. Those are the things that really elevate you as a makeup artist. Like, if you talk to a makeup artist that knows about these things, well, it means she knows her shit. She knows what she's talking about. There are, I would say, generally speaking, in Europe, makeup school focuses much more on these type of topics than just applications. Here in America, I think that the main problem has to do with the fact that the makeup is included into either an aesthetic or a cosmetology license. It's not really the focus of any school, and that's why, either schools don't have a program at all, or if they have a program, it's very minimal, or they learn from chapter 12 of the Milady book.
Yes.
So, makeup is kind of like, it's either a hobby or something that you can kind of learn how to do, but in reality, it's a whole job by itself. And even though I am licensed in cosmetology. I did teach my own program at the time. I was a student and instructor at the same time. So I cannot say that these three things were never taught to me because I was the teacher, I was the instructor, so I definitely taught those. And even when I went to school in Italy, these are very important things in Italy that they teach you. But I've noticed that this is something that, for example, the Milady book does not even talk about this. It talks a little bit about color theory, but that's about it. There's no mention of ingredients in makeup, and there's no mention about any of the mechanics of the job.
Wow.
That's why you find people doing makeup, in front, in the back, moving back and forth, like sitting down. Like there's no standards for a makeup application. And whatever else is on the chapter is very old fashioned, like early.
Wow.
Yes. So I cannot say that they were not taught to me, but I can say that it's something that's lacking in a lot of makeup programs. So I always make sure that I go deep into this. So much so that I swear, like I walk around the makeup room and I'm like, up, posture, move, and I clap my fingers and I make them stand and look elevated and professional. Very important. I know I'm a pain in the ass, but you thank me later.
Exactly.
Megan, do we have a sponsor for this episode?
We do.
We do. We have one of our sponsor subscribers, right? Didn't they subscribe to a few episodes so we can give them a shout out several times?
Yes.
Who is this? Who's our sponsor for the day?
It is Cornerstone Creations of Kansas City. They design faith-inspired apparel and custom merchandise. They're perfect for churches, ministries, businesses, and events, and they're women-owned.
Women-owned, yeah, we like that. We always try to support local businesses, women-owned businesses, immigrants-owned businesses.
They are located in Grandview, Missouri, but you can also find them on Facebook and www.cc-kc.com.
So perfect. Merch, faith-inspired apparel, we said. Yeah, I'm reading here on their nice leaflet that they gave us, and we're also going to post it on the video, and you're going to find their links so you can reach out for them, for your custom apparel needs. Events, I like the idea of having, somewhere to go. If we have an event, we can get custom t-shirts and stuff like that.
Yes, so they've actually made me some shirts for a girls' summer trip that I had.
Cool.
It's super cute.
Fun. So support local, you guys. Support our friends that are supporting us. We love that.
Yes.
To conclude our episode, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this episode, leave any comments, and if you went to beauty school, what did you wish you were taught that you were not taught to? Oh, fuck, what does that mean? Like our video, right? Leave comments.
Subscribe.
We like that. Subscribe to the channel. Please support us. And if you went to beauty school, what's that one thing that you wish you were taught but you didn't? Where did the school lack any of the theory and education? Let us know in the comments. I'm sure we can think of more. These are just probably the first three that come to mind. We would love to learn about you and your school experience too.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on social media. You can follow me on Instagram at refresh_ST, ESTY. Where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram as well. I have my makeup page is at Lucrezia Mapelli MUA here, so I don't have to spell it. And then my makeup academy page, it is LMH Beauty Academy KC. Megan also has a news about her website. We have a new website for Miss Megan. What's your website?
Yes, it is refreshesthetics.net, and that's aesthetics with an E.
And my website is www.lucreziamapellimakeupartist.com. Again, you're going to find them linked down below. And we can't wait to hear from you guys. And I can't wait to see them in our next episode.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.